On the other side of the world, comparable events they took place. For an example, James Cook, who was a British explorer, he discovered Australia in 1770, and already in 1882, a large number of free settlers they arrived to Australia, and 160 of these travelers they actually were convicts who got transported from Britain to Australia by boat. In other words, a lot of Englishmen they arrived to Australia, and this resulted in a dialect mixing because there were as well a lot of natives who spoke their native language in Australia. For example, the Aborigines. And this fact resulted in pidgin English being used. And pidgin English is a form of English which is used when English is used as a lingua franca. For example, if an Aborigine is talking to an Englishman, the Aborigine might speak English, and hereby the Aborigine he uses a form of pidgin English because he uses English as his lingua franca. And as new generations they came by, the pidgin English resulted in a Creole form of English, which is when the pidgin English has become the native language of the speaker. And this is probably why most Australians they pronounce different words quite interesting. For an example, when they say knife, they instead say knife, but that is just a fun fact. But this was the immigration of Australia. So and at the same time, different Englishmen and businessmen from Europe they immigrated to New Zealand, and the immigration of New Zealand can be divided up in three different stages, and each stage resulted in more and more settlers arriving to New Zealand. So this was the immigration of Australia and New Zealand.